guys, I'm DragonBees and I'm here to talk about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We've just had a brand new trailer covering more of these new games that will be coming out later this year, and I just want to talk about some things that I want to see in these games when they come out in November. So let's talk about 5 things that I want to see in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Number 1, they've spoken about a co-op experience. We have seen versions of co-op in other games more recently. A really good example of that is Dynamax Adventures in Pokemon Sword and Shield, but I want to see another variation on that. I want to see the ability to do something similar to Dynamax where we were able to co-op and go through like a dungeon scenario and try and get shinies out of it and that, but I want to see that expanded upon. Obviously being able to explore the world together is a great thing, and I'm hoping that they take the ideas that they developed in Dynamax Adventures and the fact that it's an open world situation in which we can play co-op and fuse those together into some sort of amazing mechanic that we can hunt for shinies and legendaries and things like that within the game and rare Pokemon within the game. So number 2, the online functionality of Pokemon games has been very hit and miss, especially on the Switch. Joining games, joining Dynamax Adventures, doing trades, doing battles, doing any of that has been a bit of a chore. The code system should work in theory, but the way it's executed is never quite right. It says about, inviting others when it should say, do you want to join this service? No. Do you want to join this I know Kaylee's probably laughing at me. You're gonna have to cut where I fuck up. What I want to see is the situation in where you put the code in and then obviously it says, do you want to join this session? The number of times I've had to explain to people how it works, that's not user error, that is the error from the development side of things and how it's displayed on screen. It's also very slow, very janky, and it does cut out on occasion, so I'm hoping that with the release of these games that they really spend some time realizing that the way forward with Pokemon and doing co-op stuff is going to require a decent internet connection, a decent online system. It has to be there. Number 3 on my list is probably a little bit more personal for me. I want to see a regional variant of the Dratini line. No secret, I love Dragonite. Dragonite's been around since Gen 1, and there was hints of a variation coming out when Crown Tundra was announced, but we never seen that. There's been lots of potential ideas thrown around the place. There's been ideas of him being blue and looking a bit more like Dragonair and Dratini. I'd love for him to be very similar in the way he looks now, but in a color scheme that works with Dratini and Dragonair. Maybe some of those elements of Dratini and Dragonair, like the ear wings and things like that. I think that'd be really cool. With that change, they could also make it that the shiny isn't a gross, disgusting, green, scary looking blob like he is in his current form, because the shiny for Dragonite is very sad and it makes me very sad. Number 4 on my list is something that's sort of been hinted at. It hasn't exactly been confirmed, obviously, but given Pokemon's track record with Eevees being in the series, then we suddenly get a new evolution. It happened with Leafeon and Glaceon, and it happened with Sylveon. For those who watch Pokemon Journeys, there has been an Eevee in the series for quite a while now. Chloe has an Eevee, and they keep making reference to the fact that her Eevee is special. It doesn't want to evolve into the current evolutions that are out there. I kind of want them to announce a new evolution. It's been a long time. We haven't had one since Sylveon. Personally, I'd love to see a dragon type, and it's got to be called Drakeon. I don't know what it would look like. I expect, like scales and think like a wyvern style, that kind of thing. But regardless, I think it's time we get another evolution because everyone loves Eevee. Everyone loves the evolutions overall. I just think it's time. It's time for a new evolution. And finally, I know the game hasn't even come out yet, but my 5th thing on this list is that they continue the trend of DLC. I liked having DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield. I think it was a great way to give that game extra life. It was a great way to keep the interest in that game. Isle of Armor was a little bit lackluster in the story, but it did add a lot of Pokemon and it did add new areas for you to explore. Crown Tundra was fantastic, and not just because Dragonite got introduced in that. I'm sure some people will go, well, you probably like that because Dragonite was introduced in that. It was such a nice story. It's a beautiful area to explore. It brought Dynamax Adventures, which to this day is still one of the most popular things about Pokemon Sword and Shield. I think DLC, once again, is a great way after the game has launched to have an extra lot of content that will come out in 6 months or 12 months after the game's been out and people have had a chance to play through it, maybe do some shiny hunting and all the other things that are going to be in the game. But I think DLC is a good way to extend the interest in these games. I don't mind paying that bit extra for some DLC. Another season pass like that would work brilliantly for this. So they're the 5 things I at the moment I'm thinking of for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Let us know what you think in the comments below, what you think of my ideas, what your ideas are, what you're looking forward to with the release of these games in November. Let us know what you thought of the trailer. I did do a reaction to that trailer, which is on my YouTube channel. I'm also going to put out a video of the 5 things I don't want to see in Scarlet and Violet, so make sure you check that out. But until that video, until any of the other videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel, then you'll know when videos go live. Hit the notification bell. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments below, but until the next video, I'll see you then. Bye! Okay, hang on.